Ulysses S. Grant, born Hiram Ulysses Grant on April 27, 1822, in Point Pleasant, Ohio, was a prominent figure in American history, known for his role as a general in the Civil War and later as the 18th President of the United States. Grant graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point in 1843 and served in the Mexican-American War. During the Civil War, Grant rose to fame for his military strategies and leadership. He played a crucial role in the Union victory over the Confederacy. His most notable campaigns included the capture of Vicksburg and the defeat of General Robert E. Lee, leading to the surrender of the Confederate Army at Appomattox Courthouse in 1865. After the war, Grant served as the commanding general of the United States Army before being elected as president in 1868 and re-elected in 1872. As president, Grant focused on Reconstruction and civil rights for African Americans, advocating for their rights and protection. Grant's administration faced challenges, including corruption scandals like the Credit Mobilier scandal and the Whiskey Ring. Despite these issues, Grant worked to stabilize the country and promote economic growth. After his presidency, Grant faced financial difficulties and was diagnosed with throat cancer. To provide for his family, he wrote his memoirs, which were published by Mark Twain and became a bestseller. Grant passed away on July 23, 1885, shortly after completing his memoirs. Ulysses S. Grant's legacy is one of military leadership, presidential service, and his commitment to preserving the Union and advancing civil rights during a tumultuous period in American history. Rutherford B. Hayes was the 19th President of the United States, serving from 1877 to 1881. His presidency was marked by a contentious election and efforts to reconcile the country after the Civil War. Hayes was born on October 4, 1822, in Delaware, Ohio, and graduated from Kenyon College and Harvard Law School. One of the most notable aspects of Hayes's presidency was the disputed election of 1876. The election results were contested, with Hayes facing off against Democrat Samuel J. Tilden. The electoral votes were disputed in several states, leading to a special electoral commission to decide the outcome. In the end, Hayes was declared the winner, but as part of a compromise, he agreed to end Reconstruction in the South, effectively withdrawing federal troops and allowing southern states to govern themselves. During his presidency, Hayes focused on civil service reform, advocating for merit-based appointments and the end of the spoils system. He also worked to improve education for African Americans and Native Americans, although his efforts were met with resistance in Congress. After leaving office, Hayes retired to his home in Ohio, where he remained active in various philanthropic and educational endeavors. He passed away on January 17, 1893, leaving behind a legacy of advocating for unity and reform in a post-Civil War America. James A. Garfield, the 20th President of the United States, had a remarkable life that was tragically cut short by an assassination. Born on November 19, 1831, in Orange Township, Ohio, Garfield grew up in humble beginnings and worked his way through education, eventually becoming a teacher, college president, and a Union Army general during the Civil War. Garfield's political career began in the Ohio State Senate, where he served before being elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. Known for his eloquence and integrity, Garfield rose to prominence in Congress and was eventually nominated as the Republican candidate for president in 1880. Garfield's presidency was short-lived, as just 4 months into his term, on July 2, 1881, he was shot by Charles J. Guiteau, a disgruntled office seeker. Despite receiving medical care, Garfield's wound became infected, leading to his death on September 19, 1881. His assassination sparked national mourning and led to reforms in the Secret Service's protection of the president. James A. Garfield's legacy includes his advocacy for civil rights, education, and civil service reform. He was known for his commitment to equality and justice for all Americans. Garfield's untimely death at the hands of an assassin robbed the nation of a promising leader who sought to bring about positive change during a challenging period in America. Chester A. Arthur, the 21st President of the United States, had a surprising rise to the presidency and a legacy of civil service reform. Born on October 5, 1829, in Fairfield, Vermont, Arthur began his career as a lawyer and later became involved in New York Republican politics. Arthur's most notable role before the presidency was serving as the collector of the Port of New York, a position known for its corruption. However, Arthur surprised many when he embraced civil service reform after becoming president following the assassination of James A. Garfield in 1881. As president, Arthur pushed for the passage of the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act, which established a merit-based system for federal employment and aimed to reduce political patronage. Despite initial skepticism, Arthur's support for civil service reform earned him praise and recognition for his efforts to clean up government appointments. During his presidency, Arthur also focused on modernizing the U.S. Navy and advocating for a strong national defense. He signed the Naval Appropriations Bill of 1883, which laid the foundation for the modernization of the U.S. Navy and its expansion. Chester A. Arthur's presidency was marked by his unexpected commitment to reform and his efforts to improve the efficiency and integrity of the federal government. Despite facing health challenges during his term, Arthur left a legacy of advocating for civil service reform and modernization that had a lasting impact on the U.S. government. He passed away on November 18, 1886.